So the first issue of Ultimate Spider-Man came out last month, and to keep it short, it's an experience, especially contrasted with the Spider-Man comics that came out for the past couple of years. Amazing, I'm looking at you. So what makes it so good, and should you pick it up? Minor spoilers for Ultimate Invasion, and all of them, for the first issue of Ultimate Spider-Man. It's January, and Peter Parker is not getting any younger. The centerpiece of the series is the fact that Peter Parker is married, and it cannot be overstated. The story starts with an intimate moment where Peter gets ready for the day with two fairly big panels dedicated to him putting on a wedding ring, followed by him entering the kitchen where two kids who definitely don't share their hair color with either Gwen Stacy or Felicia Hardy eat their breakfast. We turn the page and it turns out that we have just hit the jackpot. Mary Jane stands in the doorway and mocks Peter's sleepy demeanor, almost taking up the entire page because she knows we are here for her. At the Daily Bugle, we are treated to the usual angry J. Jonah Jameson shouting, "Parker!" across the office, only to greet Peter and continue on his way shouting, "Parker!" again. Because in this office there are two Parkers, the first one being Peter and the second Ben, as the managing editor. We get two pages that show us Jonah and Peter's relationship, change from the usual adversarial or even antagonistic in Spidey's early history, to a friendship where Jonah can help Peter prepare for an event and Peter can ask him honest questions about life and his uncle. These interactions help us paint a new status quo for this new Ultimate Spider-Man. Peter and his uncle are going to the event, and Peter asks Ben how he feels. Ben responds by asking Peter how he felt when his parents died. How does he feel now by living without them? Peter replies that it hurts, every day, and Ben answers that he feels exactly the same. We turn the page and connect the dots as the name May Parker is carved into a memorial. Ben and Peter join Mary Jane and their kids as Matt Murdock and Harry Osborn give a speech regarding the people lost and the events that transpired. If your assumption that this world will include a happy marriage of Aunt May and Uncle Ben just shattered, let me shatter the status quo I've just set up. As soon as we get to the office, Jonah quits. Ben enters the conference room, followed by a quick conversation with the paper's owner, politely smiling and leaving the room to join Jonah in the elevator. In my opinion, that's a great way to set up our expectations for the following issues. A lot of alternate universe stories tend to keep a lot of things the same. Another writer might have kept the changes to a minimum, keeping Jonah as the owner of the Daily Bugle. Both Parkers work together and even keep Aunt May alive until Peter eventually becomes Spider-Man. But this story is about a mature Spider-Man, and part of growing up is changing. The story isn't about your old Spider-Man or even your old Ultimate Spider-Man, where most things are the same and you get little changes that are different but would still be familiar to comic readers. So Peter finds Jonah and Ben drinking in a bar. Jonah leaves so the two can chat. Peter tells his uncle that he feels stuck, but he isn't his uncle. He has a wife and kids and he can't just give up on his responsibilities because he needs his life to change, showcasing his problem while still keeping it vague. Ben, the expert in adages, tells his nephew that if he feels like he is living half asleep, he should consider waking up. At home, he has a conversation with Mary Jane. He tells her that he needs to change, and she tells him that she has known for a long time, and this morning she sensed that a change has to come, whatever it would be. He tells her that he knows what to do, and promises that it won't affect the relationship. She promises to be by his side, whatever it takes, and wishes him good luck. Peter goes to the roof with the same ball his daughter took out of his bag this morning. Last night, a hologram of Tony Stark appeared in front of Peter, and he explained that the Maker, a villain from another universe, made sure that heroes wouldn't get their powers and that Peter was one of them. Tony gives him the ball that contains a spider and asks Peter if he wants the future that was stolen from him, explaining his grogginess the following morning and the vagueness in his conversations with Ben and Mary Jane. Now, he opens the ball, gets bitten by the radioactive spider, and dresses up to pose dramatically on the roof. There are so many theories and expectations I have from this series going forward. The unique settings and the overdue reunion of Peter and Mary Jane just make it a must-buy for any Spider-Man fan. The first issue packs many twists and turns, it breaks your heart and warms it up again. The writer Robert Hickman and artist Marco Checchetto bring their A-game to every panel, packing an issue featuring little action with so much drama that connects you to your old favorites in a new way. They are establishing many relationships and dropping hints that will certainly shape future events. The story deals with a unique situation where Peter doesn't have to learn that with great power comes great responsibility, as he is already an adult with a full-time job and kids. He knows that he was supposed to get powers and use them for good and chooses to take this new responsibility. He lives in a world where one of his parents didn't die because he didn't take responsibility, but because of things that happen outside of his control. And I can't wait to see how the story treats a more responsible Peter. All this praise and excitement comes from an eager fan who can't wait to see how Peter acts as a father, Mary Jane as a mother, Ben as a grandfather, and maybe also Jonah as the hot-tempered uncle. But it also comes from a place of respect for the creators who have set themselves apart as major players in the industry. Kaketo has always been a great artist in series such as Superior Spider-Man Team Up, Old Man Hawkeye, and probably his most impressive work, 2019's and 2022's Daredevil. And Hickman seems to never miss. His work on the Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Secret Wars speaks volumes for his talent. I'm excited to go read the second issue that just released, and if you haven't already, go pick up the book. I kept some spoilers to myself and I promise you'll love it. I was Anthem, have a great day, and keep reading comics.